All right. First of all, as always, this is my time to be thankful and praise God to be thankful for what I need to be thankful for. My channel is definitely not a channel about religion. I just take this time to also be thankful because at the end of the day, as a target individual, you need to be strong, and I don't think I would have been this strong unless I was, if I believed in God. I think believing in God helps me a lot. But also, I'm thankful. I am. You gotta look at things in certain ways too, because it's just like I'm just like when you look things in the right perspective, you appreciate certain things that it's hard to in the circumstances as you're in as a target individual. Right now it's always mental. I mean, no, right now every day is mental battles, but lately it's been bad. They've been bad. It's been so obvious what this is about, but it's been also obvious how foul these people are, and these ways of wanting to paint themselves has been even more destroyed. And I'm talking about these perps. These perps have tried to do what they do. They've tried to present what they do in this way. They've painted that can't even. It's just get worse. Now my mind, unfortunately, is not a state of mind that can think logically, rationally. It doesn't. I am a test subject, which is why I'm a target individual. I'm a target individual, which at this point I understand being a target individual is you're just a test subject. And they're truly utilizing you as a guinea pig to develop and improve in technology that's weaponized. And not only the technology is applying to you that can make you think in just the most idiotic, retarded way. But on top of that, this program is inclusive of involvement of people of all sorts. It's like they put you as a target individual in an ecosystem of clowns. And these people have a script of things they need to do. They want you to go up and down in your mind as you're being manipulated in the most degrading ways. Listen, it is so obvious that what they put us in is not something that is out here doing anything positive. It is so obvious that this is not a thing that is protecting women, protecting children, or avenging anybody. It is so clear that it's just painted in such a way to make the participants enjoy this and make the target individual see what's happening in a different fashion. These videos are more helpful to me at this point than I think anybody's watching, because at this point you hear me say the same thing over and over. The reason why I do this is because as a target individual, this ecosystem is brainwashing you, gaslighting as you're being manipulated. So as they reinforcing and repeating this false reality, this manipulation or this narrative that is so disturbingly falsified and retarded and nonsensical, I'll make videos to vocalize the reality, the actual reality of what's happening. To vocalize the clear, obvious manipulation and the clear obviousness of what these trash are a part of. Well, how much of a threat they are to not only men, but women and children. And how they paint themselves in this protectors, avengers, and all that, when in truth, these people deserve the worst of the worst. Not too long ago, something that helped me a lot. It doesn't change how they manipulate me, but it's just like the perfect validation that's illustrated in regard of what these people are truly about. it stops me from even trying to go back and forth. It's just the best way of negating this bullshit of a facade that target individual are presented. Please understand, target individual, what you are is a test subject. What's presented to you is a way to negate the reality of what this program is doing. If you're not a woman and if you're not a child, please understand there's women and children dying this. If you're a woman and they try to present this facade and try to vilify you, please understand these people are involved in something that is killing children, torturing women, torturing children. Sorry, as a woman, you're being tortured. What do you think this is? The people involved in this come in all walk of life. And they try to recreate a reality where they want you to start thinking this way. Listen, I've accepted the truth of what this is about. But one thing I don't want them to escape from is what they're really involved in. We are not in this, when this is not a war. This is not a program where they are protecting community. This is not a program that's protecting children. They're not trying to figure you out. They're not, this bullshit, it's not a cult doing that to you. It's not a group of feminists doing that to you. It's not a group of like community avengers and punish. This bullshit is what is presented to you. You're just like a guinea pig. You've seen children involve themselves in this. You've seen the weak of the weak involve themselves in this. You've seen the foulness these people involved. This is the bullshit that you deal with is magical. They have normalized some of this evil because the technology that we're dealing with is the technology where the most coward of the cowards can do the fouls of the fouls. Now, these cowards that you hear, that you interact with, that you see around you, the neighbors and all that, they are, like I keep saying, I know they're nothings. They go through their little scripts of what they're like, yeah, we're at war, this is a good, you pay for this and that, you die, you pay for what you did, do this and that. And I'm like, you're just a bunch of clowns, but most thankful for what just happened a few days ago. I don't even, like, sometimes I wonder, why do I even waste my energy trying to bring up. But it's just good to put that in their faces. That's why I do it. Okay. Today I'm rewired. In however they want you to think, they'll make you think. However they want you to rationalize things, they'll make you. It is so disgusting. But the truth is, they do that so you can just get immersed in this bullshit. It's brainwashing at a industrialized level, at a militarized level, at an intelligence community level. Gaslighting is the term I use because that's literally the easiest way to describe what it is. A few days ago, I heard about the true meaning of gaslighting and regard where it came from, and I want to bring that up again. Gaslighting came from a play in the 30s where a husband was trying to make the wife think she was going crazy. And the reason why the term gaslighting came up is because he used gaslight, right? Because in those days, I guess in the play, electricity was not something, I guess, and so they used gaslight to light the place up, right? To light the houses and wherever. And so the man, to try to drive the woman crazy, he would turn down the gaslight and make it look like nothing is different here, and she will like have difficulty to see things, and he will be like, what do you mean? Like, what? Everything is okay. And so it will start messing with her sense of reality, and reality, she will like start be doubtful of reality, driving her into a state of insanity. He will control an environment in a certain way and then act that this was not manipulated. Now going to gaslighting today. That's where gaslighting came from, actually. And it makes sense because for me, that's like the perfect definition. I'm like, that's literally what I've been trying to express. They manipulate you in a certain way. They alter the reality in certain ways, and then they try to gaslight you into thinking that they're not doing anything for that to happen. And they're just observing. And they're just seeing things for what they are, and they're observing. And at the same time, what they do is like they try to pick on certain things to try to paint this story. And whatever they can utilize to paint the story, no matter how stupid and retarded it sounds, they use it. And it's a lot of falsifying of a lot of things, from memories, current experiences, and being very, very like rationality in this is forget about that. This is something they want to take that out of you. That's why, for me at least, I understand why a lot of children are involved in them. And children already, we know, mentally undeveloped, mentally not rational individuals. They're children. You're not going to get sense of logic, as I'm saying, that there is rewiring this from children. They're not there yet. And I think that's why they like to use children. Now, there's obviously adults, and that's why they like to use very mature-like individuals who have don't care, they don't even have self-awareness. The people who can just recreate reality. I mean, I deal with those adults in all kind of function, from offices to anywhere. The worst actually is when you're in the professional settings. For me especially, because I deal with an environment where people of all level, of all intellects, very high, they want to, they think that their status or their professional life should make you identify with this. Because, you know, imagine gaslighting, like I said, if the person that's doing this changing here looks more credible, right? The manipulation is even stronger, right? Especially if you see them as people that are just too smart. They'll be the worst, actually. So now, you know, it doesn't take a genius, but just understanding, okay, you think because you are, let's just say, some kind of strategist in your work environment, that you're somebody who can have so much common sense. Because of that, I should see what's happening to me or whatever is happening in this fashion, when in reality, you're utilizing that as a way for me to believe the bullshit. It's so obvious. And they troll you like you're almost like a child. They troll you like they gaslight you like you're a child, like in high school, like I would say, like a high school bully. It's like, oh really? Yeah, now we're just, it's like you more obvious. So when I say stay strong, you gotta be strong, understanding, and when you have a good understanding, or at least you grasp the reality of what's happening here and why they're behaving this way and the purpose of them behaving this way and why is this so much sensible people are participating. It's like, this is exactly what this is the ideal gaslighter. Look at this sensible person. He's like very smart, analytical as hell. Why would they well, if this is the ideal people, to make you believe this false reality that they know is orchestrated, because they're participating in this orchestration of this manipulation. But they try to use that as a way to make you accepting of this. Now, me, nowadays, it's getting worse. My brain is so damaged that even my skull looks different. Because not only, obviously, the gaslighting is being applied, but what's really the deadly stuff for me is the manipulation of my brain. The technology itself is what that is what's destroying me. This trash, you can dismiss them as easily as once you understand that. It's like when you recognize the gaslighter for what they're doing, it's over. It doesn't work. It's done. So I recognize that regardless of who's doing it. I'm like, oh, especially like when it comes from this professional, like, oh, you're even more obvious actually. Because you see them just insulting their own intelligence to try to make me accept these things. You see them damning themselves down to make you accept of this. You see, this whole thing is orchestrated in that sense. You hear this, the noise campaign, all of that. This ecosystem is using this brainwashing tactic. Systematic. I'm glad it's happening right now. And so you gotta be strong. But once you are aware, oh, the noise does this, it's because they want to box in these ways of thinking. Now the technology, that is something you can do. Like this is the one thing that you just gotta be able to endure that, and it's disturbing. That's what can push you to real insanity. I wish if they were doing that right now with just them gaslighting, making it would be so dismissive. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's what you're doing. Whoop. But that's not, unfortunately, what's only happened to me. The reason why you hear this noise campaign and all that is because they are just trying to negate and counter what's happening in my mind. But you gotta hold on to the things that just makes it so helpful and obvious. And I do that. It's disturbing, but it's really helpful. They help me and validated me in ways that are just even better. Now today, let me just say the things I always say. What's happening today? Every day I look at children, from the youngest to the oldest, they manipulate my brain in the most degrading ways. And then, that's, like in the gaslighting, they turn up, they do this manipulation, and then look like they're observing. Little girls, babies, little girls, little boys, or whatever they try to get, the degrading things. Then, but then for me, what adds to it, the way they try to convince me that they're just not manipulating my brain, but if they're manipulating it, they're not calling it manipulating, they call it mapping. We're matching. We're mining. Right? They're using terminology. But that's when things get into some state of retardation, which at this point is not even worth even mentioning, because when you're going to see the level of validation you get, it's another level. For me, what they love to hold on to, and that's when you know these perps are trying to really break you down. The thing I always talk about is what I did when I was a child. 8th grader, 13, 14-year-old 8th grader. It's something that I did that I completely forgot about. And then the appropriate act that they try to exaggerate. That's why you hear this noise campaign. They try to box it in. An act of a child that they try to exaggerate as much as they can. Whatever they can to add to it, to create some more like, Today I think about it, I'm like, what was I thinking as a child? Of course it wasn't appropriate, but they try to exaggerate them. They try to say, no, she kissed it to this and that. And they have this thing where they do like a kiss or something. It's something that they try to push it to happen to there, but it didn't happen. It was ended. Thankfully. I don't know, even though I was a kid, this didn't happen. But they just try to make me imagine that all the time. And they're like, they like to do the kiss thing. I'm like, ugh. And they're just trying to refer to the thing that they wish that happened. Now, I'm a grown person. Thinking about that disturbs me because, first of all, I'm thinking about what a kid did is like what. But on top of that, they want to push to that level. The reason why they do that is because today, when they make me have the sexual stimulation, it's like, no, we're mine here. Remember what you did? Bezel kiss. Ugh. Or they try to make me think of somebody was talking about their private part, and they make me think, but I remember what you did, the venue. I'm like, can you imagine I bringing up what a kid in 8th grade, and you talk about the private part of an 8th grader. Now, it makes sense when you know who you're dealing with, that they will do that. Don't even waste your energy. At this point, I don't even let them, it's not even a waste. Like, it's just like, oh my gosh, I know who I'm talking to. For real. Like, I knew that these people are involved in something that does evilness to the level of harming even babies. It's funny the way they try to negate that, because they know what they're doing is obviously well testified. They know that I can pull a testimonial right now of how they torture children and women. They say, oh, it's different. It's our money. It's the money that of the people who don't do that to women and children, but we protect children and women. It's so disgusting. When in truth, of course, it's not that. They involve in that. The testimonials of women will bring up the fact that, hey, people in my neighborhoods, my neighbors are participating in that. This teenager involved in that. Matter of fact, it's funny. There's one woman specifically say they have a bunch of teens with attitude just behaving this way. So it's been well testified that, the people that involve themselves in this participation of like the breaking down of the target individual come in all shape or form. Some actually think it's the kids next door neighbor doing that. It's clear. So for me, I'm like, okay, this is the clan that can be doing that to a woman and her family. It's for sure. And they've created this thing where, no, but you know what? It's war. Right? And you can see what they're doing here. Like, they try to think that it's okay because it's war. It's not war. We're so helpless. We just endure. We're just like, not even toys, but like just like lab animals they use to test, not even test, to develop technology. Oh, and the development is not to figure who this. No, they figure out how can we break her down. What works? They're weaponizing this. They want to see the ups and down. They're going to put you in a roller coaster of emotions and see how you break down, how you get better from that, how you break down again. And it's clear that they just really try to get as much as they can from the subject. How can we break him down? What breaks him down? What can break him down better? It's clear. Now, for me, this is the facade. We are here to make you pay. You'll burn for what you did, this and that.